Yo, look, right? This was WasupwitE, and today we're gonna do something a little different. We're gonna do this fast draw, and since a lot of people always ask me, what's the art process? Like, what's my process when I'm doing art, or when I'm painting or drawing, doing characters or something like that, right? So I got a regular black book right here. These are some things that I had done previously. This is a regular sketch pencil. Matter of fact, I think this is a tattoo pencil, to be completely honest, right? So I'm looking at the video because it's easier for me to narrate to you guys, right? Because I can't remember. So I always start with a line drawing. All the time. I start with the eyes because the eyes let you know what the rest of the shape of the head, like the rest of the proportion of the head and the nose and the mouth should be, right? So I get that done. I do the face, and then I just knock that beanie out, right? This my character is character blue, so you know I've drawn it quite a few times. So we do the line drawing, we get all of that done. Make sure the eyes are in. So what I'm doing right now is I just go back and forth so I can make sure the sizes are kind of the same, right? Do the mouth, and then do the arm, sleeve loop, and then the finger pointing, right? You always want to make a when you're drawing a sleeve or pants or collar, you always want to be able to put dark space in to allow for that contrast, right? So that's what that sleeve loop is for. If you point your hand out, you got a sleeve loop. So you want to make stuff, even though it's a cartoon, you want to make it as realistic as possible. Even though the size of the eyes and the proportion or maybe the colors might be different, but you still want to make the clothes, you know, look like actual clothes, or the hat look like an actual hat, because that's going to help. And then that's going to make the detail look better in the long run. And when someone else is looking at the video or looking at the artwork, it's going to make the artwork just stand out, because those little small details look exactly like what you are trying to do, right? So then after I do the line drawing, I do the inking, right? And I'm using a 0.1 ink black pen, right? And so I just go over all the lines. Like, that's what I'm doing. I'm just making all the lines darker black so I can see what's going on. You could use any size pen you want. It's your choice. Like, it's all preference. All of this is preference, right? Where you start the inking is preference. How fast you do it, how thick you do it, like all of that's preference. So what I would usually do is I would do the inking in the same sequence that I draw the picture in. And then that's just the repetitive, right? So being repetitive in the things that you do allow you to do them a lot quicker and a lot more efficiently, right? And then I think I got these pens at like Michael's or something like that. So I'm gonna do all this line drawing. So we're working on a beanie right now. I think this pen this pen is going out a little bit. So I had to do a few of the lines a few more times. And if you see those little details that I'm putting in right now, that allows somebody else, when they're looking at the drawing, to know what it is. Oh, those are the curves of the beanie, right? So now I'm working on the arm, right? So you do the same thing with the arm as you do with the beanie. You make those little small details in there, so when somebody is looking at it, it's easier for them to recognize what it is. So there's less thought process in somebody trying to figure out what you're actually drawing, or the message that you're actually trying to get across, right? And then we do the classic, you know what I'm saying, the comic bubble. You write what you want to write in there. So the ink is almost done. I'm not sure, maybe I'll go over a couple more lines, but if you got a good pen, like, that one line is all you need. And then right here, you You could erase now, like erase all the lines if you want, but I wait till I'm finished with everything to erase the lines, because it's a lot less erasing, because you're not going to be able to see them, right? So this is a brush pen, but I think this one is a little worn out, so I'm gonna change it. But what you do with the brush, so these are acrylic markers, right? Acrylic paint markers. So they're not expensive ones. They're hella cheap. They're like $9.99. I got them on Amazon. So we're just gonna do these dark sections real fast. You can see how fast it's going. It doesn't take long at all. And depending on the style of art you're doing, that makes a difference on how perfect the lines need to be, right? Because sometimes the lines don't need to be absolutely perfect, right? But if you could see it right here, you see the black thicker lines are already adding definition to the picture, right? So if you were just doing black and white, you would get these thick lines in, and then that would be it. And most of the time you want to do the thick lines on the shadowed part of the picture, right? So like on the bottom of something, that would be a thicker line. Like I'm gonna do a thick line on the bottom of this sleeve right here, because that would be a darker shadow, right? And then the same thing with the inside of that sleeve cuff right there. So you got to do the inside of that sleeve cuff so people know that the sleeve is slightly looser off of the wrist, right? So now then we're just gonna get the colors, and then we're just gonna start filling some stuff in. We use quite a few different colors. You might think like, oh, you only need like 2 or 3 colors, but the reason we use so many colors is because we want the highlights to be in there as well. And then that's a big part of artwork. If you don't put highlights in, then everything is just going to be the same color. It's not going to be any contrast from light to dark, right? So this red, we just work it in on a beanie, and then if you could see, the reason you do the inking with the black is because you could just go right over that black if it's dry. Like, it'll be cool. And then you see I'm leaving space, right? So the reason you leave space is because you're gonna fill in with a couple more colors, right? So we're gonna get a lighter color. So that was a red, and then we're gonna do 2 pinks, right? You see how that looks different already? It's kind of like the light is shining from a certain section, right? Knock this first pink out. We got this next pink in there. And then I think we leave it until we get the last highlight section of the beanie. All the colors, I know they look pretty close to like. They're only a couple shades different. So the reason you want to use the colors to be only a couple shades different is because you don't want that big of a jump unless you're doing just like a complete like shadow. Like there's all shadow on one side and then there's just all light on one side. But as you can see, I'm still leaving space just like we left on a beanie, because we're going to work a couple other colors in there, right? So that's a lighter teal green color that we use. And then you see this white. So it's actually a light blue, but I use it at the highlight portion. You see that? That's the very top highlight of the beanie right there. Then it gives that comic bubble some definition as well. So you can do all the highlights if you want. I mean, there's no order that you have to go in. It's just kind of like whichever way you feel comfortable. And if you got the marker in your hand already, I mean, you might as well bust the whole thing out, right? So what is this? Brown. We're going to do some darker brown to show different, you know what I'm saying, the different shades of a face, different textures. And then we're not trying to be perfect because it's a fast draw. right? So if we were trying to be perfect, all the lines would be going in the exact same direction. We would try not to overlap as much, because when you overlap, those overlap sections get darker. You see that? See, it looks like he has a beard right there. It's kind of cool. So, but that's something good to know though. If you know that you go over it once, it's one shade, and if you go over it twice, then it's two shades. So in some cases, you may only need one shade of a marker of a color to do the entire contrast from light to dark, right? So you see that, and then we just kind of like kind of shade it in some more, maybe not make it as drastic from colors. And then his name is Blue, so you know what I'm saying, we got to get those blue eyes in for him. So this is a fast draw, right? So it's supposed to be fast. It's not going to be perfect, but what it does is it gives you the idea. It shows you what to do. And then if you guys want these fast draws, like, it's the same deal, man. You just pay what you want, man. Pay what you want, and then I'll send you guys the fast draws that I use in the videos, right? So we'll do so it's going to be the Cash App. So the Cash App is WasupwitE. I'll put it in the thing. It's WasupwitE, right? And then it's only one fast draw per. So I could only, you know what I'm saying, I could only give one per person, right? So we're going to get these to you, and then and then you guys like send me yours, or like send them to me on Instagram, or send them to me in my email. It's the same thing. It's WasupwitE@Yahoo. Right now, I'm just doing like some little filler. Like, that's my thing. That's what I always do. If you see the drawings, you see that that's what I do, right? And then you always want to sign it, because you sign your artwork. That's what you do. And then that's it, man. I want to thank you guys for watching this first video, this first fast draw. And then we got a lot more to come. And if you want to contribute, if you want to donate, you could go to the Cash App, and I'll put the Cash App. It's WasupwitE, right? And then it's WasupwitE on that 2503, right? Right.